All right, let's try the same two examples that we did for midpoint and trapezoidal rule, but this time now with Simpsons rule. So we're going to use our delta x over 3 and then our 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1 pattern. So remember, just like before, we take and plug it in our calculator. We change our window to 0 to 4 because we're going from 0 to 4, and then we hit zoom 0. And it gives us our graph, right? So our delta x here is 4, take away 0, and we're cutting into 4 subintervals, so 1. So you can see that we already have our change in x as 1. And so now we would go 1 over 3, and then we do our normal pattern, right? So remember, it's 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, because these two give us our first parabola, right? This one, so the 1 and the 2 give us our first parabola, and then the 1 and the 1 give us our next parabola from there to there, and so it's going to be 1, 4, 1, but there's 2 of them because it's going to happen again, so we just call that middle one 2. So 1, 4, 2, 4, 1. So we would go f of 0, right? Plus, and these are going to bother me if I put them there, so I need to get rid of them so I don't write them, plus 4 f of 1 plus 2 f of 2 plus 4 f of 3 plus f of 4. All right, and we just double check this. It's 5 of them. That checks perfectly. And we have 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now we just plug it in the calculator and see what we get. So again, verify that your y is correct. So I can quit. And then we're going to go 1, because that's our delta x, divided by 3, parenthesis, and then f of 0. So of 0, and I put that in parentheses, plus, and then 4. Of 1 plus 2 of 2 plus 4 of 3, and then finally our last one. So again, you want to remember the pattern, why it is what it is, so that you don't forget it. Then we hit enter and we get 0.9906. 0.9906. We check our Desmos with the proper settings, and again, 0.9906. So the area in red is 0.9906, and we can easily see that's an overestimate, so we would have a negative error here. And that's it. All right, now let's try another one. Okay, so now we go e to the x, the same thing in the calculator. So our f of x is e to the 1 over x. Our windows from 1 to 3, and our delta x is 0.25. We've already done this one, so it was interval of 2 into 8 parts is 0.25. So you can see that down here, it's already been cut into our 0.25, and you're going to give our parabolas. So just so we have this graph, so you know, remember this is not trapezoidal. Remember, that's our first parabola, and that's our second, and that's our third, and that's our fourth. So parabola 1, parabola 2, parabola 3, parabola 4. Right? And so that's why we're getting our 1, 4, 2, because it's on both sides. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1. All right, because these two, it would be really 1, 4, 1, but that one has a double end. Okay, back to the problem. So we end up with 0.25 over 3, and then we're going to go f of 1 plus 4 f of 1.25 plus 2f of 1.5, because again, our difference is 0.25. So we're just adding 0.25 as we move through the problem. So 4f of 1.75 plus 2f of 2 plus 4f of 2.25 plus 2f of 2.5 plus 4f of 2.75, and then finally we end up with plus f of 3. That was our last one. So we have that 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1. And if you look at our picture, it's 1, 4 for the 1.25, 2 for the 1.5, 4 for the 1.75, 2 for the 2, 4, 2, 4, 1. And it checks very easily. And again, if you need those decimals be entered, you can always use the table. So if we go to our table set, we're starting at 1 with a change in table of 0.25. And we can graph it. And if you don't want to put all these F in, you just enter these numbers into your calculator. It's your choice. Okay. So now we can take, and if you wanted to, you can even grab that problem we just did, hit enter, and then just modify it. So if you go second left, that would be second insert 0.25, and then we delete the 1. And then we just input 1. We've already got the 4, right? And we just input it in. So I shrank it a bit, and so it would be second insert 0.25, and we scroll over to the next one. It's your choice if you want to do this or not. So that's one way to do it. I want to just input it in all by itself. So 0.25 divided by 3 parentheses, just so that there's no issues whatsoever. And then we're going to input in 1. And then continue this on until we get the answer. So continuing that pattern, we get 3.5224. 3.5224. And then we check our Desmos, and it's 3.5224. So just like before, again, another overestimate. So again, it's just going to be a lot of plugging in. I really recommend you draw the graph, just to remember that what you're doing here is parabolas, so that you don't just plug numbers in to a formula, that you're understanding where it comes from.